So what is the key to tests? The key to tests, very simply, is self-testing. That's the one thing you have to do if you want to do well on a test. And interestingly, what I found is that most students, unless the teacher explicitly gives them something to self-test with, they don't do much self-testing. A lot of that is just kind of how people think about things. Usually people just think, okay, I have to know certain things on the test, which means that I have to study. And unfortunately, a lot of times studying can just mean, reading my notes, reading the book, or even just staring at the book or at my notes. And it doesn't get you very far to, being able to do the sorts of things you have to do on the test. Okay, so how do you think about this? Simple way is to think, okay, what do I have to do on the test? Okay, and that will give you a clue as to what you have to do to prepare. All right, on the test, if I have to solve problems, okay, it's not a matter of knowing how to solve problems. It's you actually have to solve problems in order to do well on the test. If I have to, a tough one is multiple choice questions. Okay, a lot of times people just think, okay, again, I just have to know a bunch of stuff. Okay, but if you think about it, what am I actually doing on this multiple choice test? I'm actually answering questions. Okay, which means that in order to prepare, I have to answer questions. Okay, which is very, very different, I think, than what a lot of people do to get ready for multiple choice tests. Again, they usually just read a lot or look at their notes a lot and aren't spending a lot of time answering questions. Another common thing is, say, like a essay test or short answer. That's a short answer. Test where what do you have to do on the test? You actually have to write. Okay? Which means, again, that in order to prepare, you have to spend time writing as opposed to reading. So that's the idea. In other videos, I'll give some more details about these specific things, but the basic idea of if you want to do well on a test, figure out what do you have to actually do on the test, and then practice doing those sorts of things when you're studying. Just like if you were practicing the piano for a recital or practicing your sport for a game.